record to the left. Busy progress indicator. Busy progress indicator. Hi. Welcome to the Divinely You podcast. Welcome to Saradivinelyyou on YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I know there's plenty of videos and podcasts you could be listening to, so I appreciate you taking the moments to listen to what I have to say. And so I'm titling this video something along the lines of either the difference between tiptoeing into your power versus plunging into your power, because I know there's a lot of people out there who maybe you're just starting to sort of walk into this idea that you're a powerful being, and you're like, no, I'm not. Oh, what the fuck? And so it's kind of like this whole, like, how do you take it in sort of idea. So I want to like put this into, like, you can tiptoe into the powerful person that you are, or you can plunge, like rip the band-aid off. And so when I talk about power, like, it's your power to do the thing you want to do, right? It's your power to control your thoughts, or your power to take the next step towards the big thing you want to make a change in your life. It's your power to, talk to that person that you've been wanting to talk to and, develop a relationship, whether it's friendship or romance or even business, and you're just afraid to talk to that person. And it's, taking your power to do that. It's taking your power to address your physical body, like, whether that's like your medical or your health, or maybe it's your fitness or your nutrition. Those are powerful choices or steps we take in our lives, right? Maybe it's learning more about spirituality or a certain religion that you want to be a part of, and taking the power to do that, and taking your power regardless of other people's reactions or judgments around your choice. Okay. And so you can tiptoe. By tiptoe, you take like a small action that empowers you to acknowledge that you're powerful, right? So maybe it's like you ask for help in doing a task that you would normally force yourself to do by yourself, right? So that's recognizing and using your power to take that little step, and then, like, oh, that wasn't so bad. Like, that person was super helpful, and I'm glad that they helped me do that. And gosh, I feel so much better. I'm not as like worn out or spent or needing so much recovery or whatever that I would normally need from doing that task by myself, like whatever that looks like. Whereas plunging into owning your power, or acknowledging your power, is like applying for the job, taking a trip, taking a vacation, asking that person out on a date, or whatever it is, like, taking that powerful plunge forward into who you are and owning that person. Owning your power or plunging into your power might mean drastically changing your hair or your clothes, or wearing different makeup if that's what you do, or wearing different jewelry, that sort of thing. There is like that phrase, like, if a woman, drastically changes her hair, she's about to change her life. I was shaving my head right before I became a nomad. And so there's tiptoeing, meaning you make small actions to support yourself in learning how powerful you are, right? When you do little actions, you teach your brain that you're powerful. And then when you take large plunges, you scare the shit out of yourself, but you scare the shit out of yourself in order to show yourself your own power. And both are great. And maybe you're neither one. Maybe you're like, I don't really even understand or know or whatever. Or maybe you're just taking actions just because they feel like the right thing to do in the moment. Like, maybe you don't even see like this context of it. But for those that do, you know, there's these two options that you can take, and there's obviously like gray areas in between. I don't think there's any black and white to any of this type of a conversation. You know, I've done both over the years. I've plunged into my power. Taking a trip to California was definitely, both trips to California actually in the last 3 years, were definitely plunging into my power. When I relocated to California in 2019, I swore I'd be homeless and on the streets because everybody was. And I'm like, that's going to be me. I'm going to be homeless on the streets. I was definitely not homeless. At any point was I ever homeless. So that was, you know, so that was like, I proved, you know, like I proved to myself, like I kept a roof over my head, minus the camp out, which was great, by the way. But anyway, I digress. So I just like, I feel like people are really like seeing themselves maybe in a different way. And there's a lot of questions and like, how do you even proceed or take steps forward? And the answer is that you just take steps forward. And, you know, you probably see it on social media a lot, like whatever you do, people are either going to like you, judge you, or, you know, whatever, they're going to have their opinions about what you do, right? The people closest to you are going to have their opinions or their thoughts or their judgments, regardless of what you do. And so I can tell you right now, some of the people who are my biggest supporters did not like the fact that I was going to California in December. But I had done my research and I had talked to people who had lived in the area where I was going. And so I was rest assured that I was fine. It was beautiful. But anytime you are powerfully choosing for yourself the right thing to do, some of the biggest decisions you might make for your life are probably going to be the biggest judged decisions in your life. Mine still are. I still get judgment, criticism for shit I did in my life 12 years ago, or even before that, probably. And so no one else is here living your life. No one else is going to be the ones to say this is the right thing for you. You're the one who gets to make those choices for yourself. And there's always going to be fear around it.
Notifications are low battery now.
That's awesome. Hopefully I get this done before my Mac goes to sleep. There's always going to be fear around it. And there's a lot in conquering the fear or embracing or doing it anyway, regardless of the fear, right? The fear of what others are going to think or say, the fear of what might happen when you do the thing or whatever, right? But when I took my trip to California in 2019, it led to a summer in the mountains. Like, I could not have thought I couldn't even have imagined that was going to happen. And it did, and it was fabulous. Mainly because there was like very little cell service. So I just appreciated every moment of that. So, and I mean, you can talk to people like till the cows come home. Like most people who've made like tremendously fearful decisions are usually like the best decisions they could have made for their life. And so own yourself, own your power. Know that if people are judging you, that's on them. And then I wanted to say a couple of things about like mental weakness or laziness or things like that. Okay. So I've read The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. And she stated in the book, laziness is just fear. So if you notice, like, I remember hearing that and I was laying on my couch reading the book and I thought, oh, so I'm just scared of what people would think if I put myself out there, if I, whatever, put my art out there, put my crochet out there. Like, I'm just scared of what people would think. Or if I put my drawings on display, would people judge me because my drawings are not perfect? Any artistic thing that I've done on paper has never been like a perfect circle or a perfect square or perfectly colored that doesn't, no. And for years I thought that, like, oh, I can't do art because I suck at it, because I don't make perfect this or that, or I don't do perfect geometric shapes. And then I realized that, like, okay, but I don't have to, because drawing isn't about being perfect. It's about being artistic and expressing. And sometimes expression is imperfection, or it's messy, or you're gonna fuck it up. There's just, and so we get fearful, petrified, and we stop and we don't do the thing, right? We become like statues and we don't do the thing because we're afraid. And the fear doesn't go away. However, doing it anyway gives you a nudge to do more. And the more you do, the more you get comfortable, right? I started doing these videos. Well, I've been doing live on Facebook videos for years and years. And then I started doing like consistent daily lives in like mid-October of 2021. And now here I am doing YouTube videos. And when I first started, I'm like, and there are still days where I'm like, why am I still doing this? And then I'm like, because it's fun, and because you're learning, and because you're growing, and because you're developing your skills, and you're thinking and visualizing, and it's opening up creative doors for you, and this and that. And who knows what's going to come to fruition, because you've been practicing being on camera and hoping to God that nobody cares that you use a screen reader, right? Are hoping on God right now that my battery doesn't die before I finish recording this. To plug it in would actually cause a little disruption. So I'm gonna hope and pray. Anyway, so my point is like, to kind of tie this all up, is like, you get to embrace your power in whatever way serves you. And sometimes it's okay to tiptoe and ease your way in and just show yourself that you can do the damn thing. Because the more you show yourself, even in little ways, your brain, your neurons are gonna get excited and respond to that. And then there's plunge the hell into it, because that lights up your neurons to be like, oh, more please, right? Yes, please, more please. And then you send that thought process out to the universe, and you're gonna get more of the excitement that you want. So know that you're a powerful person. Remind yourself, tell yourself, acknowledge yourself for being a powerful person. Write yourself affirmations, or do whatever you got to do to remind yourself you're a powerful person. Maybe it's what you like I said before, the clothing you wear, the message where you wear. Maybe you put like a scrunchie on your doorknob because that scrunchie reminds you that you're incredibly powerful. Maybe you have a keychain that you carry because it reminds you how powerful you are, because where you acquired it from. I've stopped wearing a lot of message wear because it no longer aligns with me. I'm actually going to start wearing more message wear that does align with me, and I'm kind of excited about it. Because it's more like me than just what I have in my closet. Like, I'm intentionally accumulating things. So I hope you found this to be helpful. If this is a conversation you would like to continue having, I do offer one-to-one leadership coaching around personal power, personal authority, and all of that, and well-being and things like that that can really help you step into your power. And then obviously this is on the podcast, it's on YouTube, so you can listen, you can watch, however it floats you. I will probably be doing a write-up for Instagram. So if you want to follow my Instagram, Sarah, Sara, Divinely You on Instagram, if you want to follow me there, it'll probably hit my Facebook too. I think they're tied together. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out my new phone. So things are still rickety. I'm getting there. But I use a lot of accessibility settings across all my apps and in different ways. And so it's actually quite a process to like, and it's good. I'm actually glad that I've gotten to kind of rebuild it from scratch instead of my backup working. But it's been some, oh shit, I didn't realize that wasn't set on that app. Okay. So anyway, so follow me on the platforms, and I'll post a write-up there. I will not do a Patreon write-up. Patreon's probably going to be like a once a week big deal kind of thing, like think about it for the week. And then littler write-ups will go onto Instagram. That's the thought process I have. So thank you so much for tuning in, and have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Stop recording. Zoom.us has new window. System preferences, battery, window, toolbar.
I know.
On the toolbar. Zoom.us, stop cloud recording. After stopping.